Dance a little bit. Dance a little bit. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we're live? Oh, hey guys, it's Tom from Liquidation Motivation. I'm here with Esteban today, and our channel is all about how to make money on eBay, Amazon, pallet sellers, truckloads, bin stores, liquidation, consignment stores, and building wealth. It's all about taking your side hustle, monetizing it, and putting a portion of it away in an appreciating asset. My favorite is crypto. So, welcome to today's show. Esteban, who is the eBay expert. I consider myself good at eBay, but Esteban is by far way better than me. He's so organized. He's detailed. He gives me a P&L every week about our store's eBay business, and he's growing it exponentially every month. How long have you been doing eBay here?
Believe it or not, we were just discussing that. 12 weeks.
12 weeks. So that is 3 months. So 3 months, I think you've already, quadrupled our sales?
Yeah, it's at right now. The average is about $4,000 gross right now
a week. Mm-hmm. 4,000 a week. So we remember we had a very bad experience with our last eBay manager. Esteban's taken it over. He's quadrupled it. But we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of items that can go up. Every week we get better and better. Our sales go up, and we do use VAs for our sales process. If you have any questions about eBay or anything else, you can put it down in the chat. We're on, I believe, 8 different channels today. So sometimes we can't see your name in the chat, so I won't be able to mention it on air. But, we do certainly appreciate any questions to help the show go on. There are 2 things that we need to announce today. So first of all, this is behind this.
Bincredible Deals.
Bincredible Deals, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. I think they open up next month, Stan. Was that right? They open up to September. This is September. They open up this month. Yeah. So that's a new bin store behind us. Congratulations. Welcome to the business. I don't know if you follow this channel or not, but I love bin stores. It looks like about 2,500 square feet. They got a lot of bins packed in there.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost 20 bins.
So almost 20 bins in that store. Which is good, which is fine. There was somebody who posted, I believe it was either in our group or the liquidation group, that they own 6 bin stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they're all 1,000 square feet or less. So they're all cheap to run. They don't have a ton of bins, but he says he does really well. Works out of a warehouse with like 130,000 square feet. That's a lot. That's a big warehouse to supply just 6 small bin stores. But before we get going, I just put out a video yesterday that was, I think it was titled "With My Daughter and Wife." My daughter was doing a fundraiser, and I asked, we have 3,000 some odd people on our YouTube channel, 6,000 people in our bin store group, Facebook. I was just asking if I could get everybody to donate $1, $1, right? Because she's trying to raise $3,000 for the Thirst Project, which delivers clean water to people mostly in third world countries. But it's a great project, and anything that you can do to help. I just asked for $1. Somebody, and he doesn't want me to mention his name, and I wish I could, donated $1,000.
That's awesome.
$1,000. I didn't even. My daughter cried. I mean, I don't even know what to say. She's doing it through her school. She earns a trip if she gets the $3,000 level. So, I know where you're at. I think you're over in England. So I super want to thank you 100% for what you did. That's an incredible, whenever you get over here to the States, please look me up. I would love to take you to dinner or something. So thank you so much for that donation. Hey, all right. So if you got any questions, feel free to ask them down in the comment section. Maybe we can talk a little bit about eBay before we start getting the questions rolling in.
I got something to bring up. Yep. So we have John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. He recently posted a video in regards to buyers trying to get a refund or requesting a refund after 30 days. And I was like, people could do that? Me, in the industry for a couple of years now, I wanted to confirm. So I tried to do it myself. I went on, when you go on eBay and you look at your previous orders that you placed, I was able to submit a request for a refund. Now, it'll definitely say 30 days. 30 days has passed. This is just a request. But what happens is that if us as a seller just goes through the motions and starts clicking away, we could be refunding someone that was past
Right.
those 30 days. Now, here's what I found out too. On top of that, this week we had a buyer submit it's a request for saying that, it was a dispute. It's called a dispute because he wanted to because he didn't recognize the transaction. But I immediately recognized his username, and I remembered that this is the same guy that asked for us to give him a partial refund for an item that he had purchased months ago.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry, we can't do that. It's past 30 days or whatever. And I had to jump through so many hoops just to stop this dispute from happening. The only thing that eBay asks of us is that we go and get a screenshot proving that we delivered this item to this customer. Now, it was in April. On April 7th was when he ordered it. Yes, in April. And because we only have a 90-day transaction period or history within eBay, I had to scour through all my records within your records because I didn't have it. I didn't jump into your project until 90 days ago, right? I'm sorry, 90 days ago. And so I had to go look through all your invoices from that past, and I could not find anything. The only thing I could find was his order, but it doesn't give me a transaction number, so I can go to the UPS or to
No
find
tracking
a
number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, nothing. So what I did was, because this person submitted a request for partial refund, I screenshot that and I submitted that. Now, that was yesterday, so I haven't received any response yet from it, but I will let everyone know what the result of that was.
Yeah, there is a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of it, but there is a percentage of scammers out there on eBay that, I think they try to get the things that just go by, you just immediately, because I don't, how do you handle refunds on eBay? I don't even think about my refunds, right? I just, in my mind, I'm like, just refund, accept the product back. And, that was my kid's school. I probably should have answered that. Accept the product back and give them a refund and move on, because it happens, maybe 2% or 3% of the items that you sell. And some people get upset and fight them. And, I'm like, I don't even know why you even want to deal with them. Just accept the refund, send it back and move on, and accept it as a cost of doing business. But you got to be careful because most of them are legit, the refunds.
Yeah.
But there are some that are just totally fraud and just people trying to scam the system, which
I'm glad you brought that up because it's true. In all cases, here you go. Here's your $20 back. Here's your $40 back. That's fine. But in this case, I don't know. I was like, I've never seen this before. I wanted to dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
Normally, I would have just given the money and just called it a day. But did you know that when there is a dispute, we have to pay $20, a $20 fee if it's in his favor. So on top of that refund.
I didn't know that. To eBay?
To eBay.
Probably for their time to handle the dispute. Wow. Yeah. eBay socking it to the man one more time. That's why I don't really care too much for eBay. I mean, we sell a lot of stuff on eBay, but they are not a good company. And as soon as a company that beats out eBay, I'm moving everything over. And that's coming soon, I believe. I think somebody will take eBay out in the next 5 years, in my opinion. And
using blockchain technology.
Using blockchain technology, absolutely. There'll be zero fees in the future for us for selling products peer to peer. It'll be a computer program written that's free to use. I mean, you're going to have to pay the credit card processing or PayPal or whoever, or pay in crypto, which is free.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
We have a question. Miles McGowan, really just need help scaling my hustle. How do I go from just buying and selling on a smaller scale, like at auctions and garage sales, to take it to the next level?
So before you answer that, which I think you're going to answer that, I've got to, we talked about VAs on here.
Yeah.
And, Esteban manages our VAs. We actually have another company that we're working on. And actually, we're working on hiring some VAs for our social media marketing. And Esteban just got done with a couple interviews with them. So I got a lot of questions, a lot of comments. People are like, hey, can I talk to Esteban? Hey, can I reach out to Esteban? I gave a couple people your contact information, but I don't know if you want to say here, like, the process or how you work it or how you do it. And
when it comes to eBay and scaling, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer that. Now, there's different things in regards to scaling. We should look at the way I look at it, at our eBay business, is there's 5 steps to it, right? Number 1 is sourcing. You're great at that. Number 2 is photography, just photographing those items. Third one is listing. The fourth one is shipping and inventory management. And the last one is administrative work, which means sending out refunds, creating promotions, messaging back to comments, and handling disputes. That would be administrative. Now, if we look at each of those steps individually, and we could either hand it out to another person or to a department that you have, that will split up your time. So this way you can handle the bigger stuff. So when I first started, I already knew that I needed to look at sourcing and say, what can I do to scale sourcing? Well, I was going through thrift stores and learning all the pieces of items that's there and what's valuable and what's not. Then I started going to the Goodwill outlets and started buying things in one place at a lump sum. Then I met up with Tito, and he had
big shout out to Tito, right?
Tito Alonso, what's up?
Tito's our man. He has he's also an eBay seller, a liquidator. He has a warehouse here in Tampa. Also, great guy.
So he had pallets, and instead of me fighting at the Goodwill outlets, I bought pallets from him. And I created an unfair or a competitive advantage by offering him, hey, look, Tito, I can't have all of this, but I can have, just give me your tops or your shirts, and I will pull out all the good pants. So this way you don't have to rummage through this giant pallet for you. So this way you can sell it on your eBay store. I did that because he had a lot on his plate and he can handle the higher things. So I put myself in a position where I created a competitive advantage. Now that's just sourcing. So buying in bulk if you can. 2 was photography. And if you can do photography all at once or hire somebody to do the photography, and I recommend to look at the value of the particular item. If it's over $20, then I would recommend hiring somebody. But if it's less than that, I don't recommend hiring somebody to photograph that item. Then the next thing is listing. And yes, that's where outsourcing your listings come into play. And we can use tools like InkFrog to give them staff accounts. So this way they don't touch our eBay store. They're strictly in InkFrog listing for us. And because we're outsourcing it, we're not paying so much. We're paying a fair price for them. And it allows us to list. By removing that task away from us, we can either photograph more, we could go sourcing more, we could be doing the administrative work more, or just handling shipping if that's what we want to do. So looking at looking at our eBay business and compartmentalizing each part, it will allow you to focus and see what we can do to level up and scale each section of the business. That's my long, elaborate answer.
So I'm going to talk prices.
Okay.
You know, I mean, because I think everybody needs to know the difference. So we hired our own eBay listers here, you know, previous to Esteban taking over our eBay department. And what we found is that they were very inefficient at listing merchandise, you know. So so we were paying them in Florida, the minimum wage is $8.55 or something like that. We paid them $10 an hour, right? But then if you ask, my real cost is really like $12.50 an hour when you add everything in, right? So as a business owner, you got to pay all the payroll taxes and stuff. So my cost was $12.50, and they were literally putting on average, you know, maybe 4 listings an hour, 3 to 4 listings an hour. So really, it was costing me $3 or $4 to get this listing done, right? So now that we've taken that out of the hands here and just take the pictures. Now, when you're just taking pictures, you could picture, I don't know, 20 or we've done 50 at one time.
It depends on the item. So if it's hard good items, then we only need an average of 5 pictures, 4 to 5 pictures. If it's clothing, we need to take measurements. So it's about 8 to 10 pictures.
Right.
So depending on what you have.
But we tested the clothing one time. I think we did 50 something items in 1 hour with just doing photographs when Maria did it.
No, it was 50 in 1 day. 50 in 1 day. It was 10 items per hour. Because remember,
I thought it was more than that. No, we tested clothing. 1 hour, but it was 2 people 1 hour. Remember that?
No.
Anyway, so 2 people listed, photographed 50 items in 1 hour. Now we take those items, we send them to the VAs over in the Philippines. We use the Philippines. And so remember, there's all these countries around the world that you can hire these VAs from and pay a quarter of the cost, right? So our cost, we pay them by the piece over there, 50 cents a listing to take the photographs, research the product, write a very good description, then upload it to InkFrog and get a price.
Yeah, they even remove the backgrounds too for the gallery shots too.
Right. So instead of getting 4 listings an hour, now we worked it out for the same price. We're getting about 12 listings per hour, you know, at the same cost. So it's way more efficient to do it this way. And you could. I know there's going to be people out there that are going to put negative comments in here that oh, you're ripping these people off or whatever. But they, when you're in a country where the average person lives on $200 a month and they have the opportunity to make just about unlimited income. We don't care how many they list. We just keep sending them photos, and the unemployment rate's 30% there, and it's probably worse now for Corona. This is a great experience for them. This is a life-changing experience for these people that we're hiring in these countries. So that's the truth about it. And I know people will say, "Oh, you're a cheap bastard," or whatever you want to say, but
it has nothing to do with being cheap. It has to do with the reality of their country versus ours. I mean, they're probably looking at our country, be like, "Man, that's expensive. How can you do it?" Well,
yeah, they're listing something for $100 on eBay that they could never afford in their life, right? They could very rarely afford in their life. And, so we're providing an opportunity for them. They're making our department profitable.
Absolutely.
Because if we didn't do it this way, we wouldn't be profitable, because all of our money goes into the labor of the listings. Then you just have to focus on, I don't know, higher end items, which we do get a lot of, but it works. And I recommend, how do you find a VA? So Esteban has this, a connection. You always look for competitive connections that you have. You always look for neighbors or friends or family or whatever. Esteban's wife is from the Philippines. So you hire a lot of her family?
No, actually, it started off with hiring her sister. Yes, it started. But when you have a family involved, they tend to, just be relaxed about it. But when you hire someone that's not part of your family, they'll, sit up in their chair a little straighter, right? So the way I hire VAs would be, I post an ad on Craigslist. Yes, Philippines, Craigslist Philippines, and I just post a picture of, let's say, a shirt or, I don't know, a Bitcoin bowl, and I say, please describe this item. And if somebody says Bitcoin bowl, I just put them in the no folder. But if they say, 12-inch bull Bitcoin with muscles and gives me a huge elaborate description, it means this person is putting effort into this. Now that's the person that I want to talk to. Okay, now I start to have that one-on-one video chat. I want to know what kind of a person they are, what kind of work ethic they have, what kind of background they have, and then I go from there and I vet who would be a better fit for us.
Yeah, so Craigslist in the
Craigslist?
Philippines, that's incredible. That's great. I didn't even know that existed over there. You know, so there's certain countries around the world that are beneficial to you, because obviously we want somebody who speaks English, and so most people in the Philippines speak English. But there's other countries that would work out also. So like India, you can get VAs from India. I think Ghana like is descendants from India. And so Ghana's in South America. The number one language there is English.
Yeah, honestly, you can go anywhere. It's really up to you on where you feel you can have a better connection with them. Now, the one thing that is not talked about a lot is training them, because how do you tell someone how to do something when they're not here? And that's very hard to do. And that's the reason why I offer my services to you and to Tito and other people, because it's not easy to train people that's not present. So what I do is I create a step-by-step guide with screenshots of every single thing. So this way, they have something to lean on. And if they have questions, they can either chat with me on Google Chats, or send me an email for less urgent items.
Can we put that on our website?
Are you
the
step-by-step
yeah.
thing?
Is this proprietary, or is Esteban willing to share it with you?
We'll have a discussion after.
Oh, we'll discuss that afterwards.
I have a question here. Esteban, can you tell us your system for storing your eBay items?
Oh, story.
Now,
so important. So important.
Cool. Yes. So the way we used to do it is I had the way I started was in my guest room, and I had tall shelves, 48 tall shelves, and I had just boxes on them. And then what I did was label them A1 through 1A through 1Z, and then created shelves as I increased our inventory. But now I realized that once they started depleting, each box depleting as I sell items, I would have to scramble around to find out which are the empty boxes and which ones are not. So I don't use that system anymore. What we use is a consolidating system, and I do that here because of the quantity of items that Tom has here. So what we do is we put an inventory number on every single one. Use your Dymo software. Use a thermal printer called Dymo, and on it has a counter where each label that pops out is a different number. And what we do is we take that, our photographers here slap that inventory number on each item that they photograph, and then we have another person grabbing those items and putting them in the inventory room. As things sell, we're going to start seeing open spaces or empty boxes. We remove those empty boxes, and then we shift everything over to consolidate the room. This way, we're always utilizing 100% of that room, of your inventory space. I highly recommend that system if you're looking to scale. If you only have 200 items, you can use the old system. But if you're looking to grow past 400-500 items, I highly recommend a consolidating system. And that's something that I can share with you via email if you want. I can send you pictures and anything you need.
All right. Somebody's asking, why don't we open a bin store in Citrus County? You know where Citrus County is? Crystal River. Isn't there already one in Crystal River?
I have no idea. Don't know.
So we're looking to open a third bin store right now. We are looking at a few different locations, probably more toward the Ocala area. We do have a location that we're going to look for, Crystal River. I'm going to find out where Crystal River. I thought there was one. I think I sell to a guy in Crystal River, Florida. Let me see where it's at on the maps. Yeah, I think if you now, I don't know much about Crystal River, but if you go to the mall in Crystal River, there's a bin store in your mall. We do sell product to that person. They come down here once a week and buy it. They also buy, hey, put back up those mystery boxes. I thought I turned my phone off. Put those mystery boxes back up. I know you can see these are mystery boxes behind us, Amazon sealed mystery boxes. This is from my store, and we sell these for $400 a pallet. And I know he brings them up there and, he resells them. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that though, right? Anyways, this is live, so I got no choice. But yeah, there's a bin store in Crystal River inside the mall. You can go inside there. I think they do great business. They love the business. They're good guys. We deal a lot with them. We sell a lot of pallets to them. Now so we don't want to be in the pallet business, but we are because we have to keep ahead of the inventory. So if we ever get excess inventory, which we do have right now, we do sell some of it off when we get too much, because we want to be the biggest buyer for our supplier. We don't want our suppliers to go anywhere else. We want to buy everything that they get so that they never have to sell anything to anybody else. Now, it was a little tough during Corona. Things got short. I'm telling you, we had nothing for weeks. We never shut down, but we certainly went through our big store and we had to pull things off the shelves, go into back rooms and see what we had in order to keep the bin stores running. But yeah, it's getting inventory is a challenge, and it's better now, and we certainly want to open more bin stores. So we got some areas in mind, like Lake Wales, Fort Meade area, Ocala, Orlando, St. Pete, Clearwater. Those are the 5-6 areas that we're looking at, and I'd like to open in all of them. I'd like to open in all of them. We just got to work out the logistics on it. We can probably handle one more bin store with what we have, but if we open a fourth one, we're probably going to need to buy another truck, hire some more people to do more sorting, buy more truckloads to do more sorting. But really, it's scaling. If you can scale it out to get to, and I don't know what the perfect size is. The guy earlier said he had 6 bin stores. Maybe that's the perfect size. But at some point, it just becomes economically fantastic for you, financially fantastic when you get to that level where because you have one truck doing one store, then you have one truck doing 2, one truck doing 3, one truck doing 4 stores. Now the cost of that truck gets split 4 ways as opposed to 1 way. And the same thing with everything else that you do. My trash gets split 4 ways. My my labor gets split 4 ways that they're doing the processing here. Everything gets split 4 ways. So that's called economies of scale. As you grow bigger, the cost for the individual items becomes less. So it's a great concept. It's a great concept. So we certainly want to open more bin stores. We do have Amazon Smalls are now located here in Orlando and Tampa. So some people are asking me from Atlanta, like where they can get them. I'm sure they can buy those Smalls and ship them up to Atlanta. I believe shipping to Atlanta from Florida is something around $2,000. That's what I would do. Open as many bin stores as you can. I mean, I can't believe how fast our bin store group is growing. 6,000 people in it now. Every day I wake up, there's hundreds of people asking to join the group, and it's just exploding. So, all right, if you have any more questions, put them down in the comments down below. What do we got? Amazon Smalls. Yeah, that's the staple pallet for bin stores. You want to buy the 6-foot ones, not the 3-foot ones. Remember, the 3-foot ones are processed. Now, that doesn't mean they're bad. That just means you're never going to find.
If you want to know it, I think that Amanda's looking to know what that is.
Oh, what's in there? So the Amazon mystery boxes. No, I think they have more like mediums in it.
No. I think she's asking, what is an Amazon Small?
Oh, so Amazon Smalls are small items. What they sell them in 6-foot pallets. The pallet will have anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 items, and typically you're buying them for about $1,000.
What would be like an example of Amazon Small, like cords and stuff like that?
Well, there would be cords in there. There's going to be cell phone cases, lots of masks, but you're also going to find, some medicines, books, clothing, just general merchandise. It might be, a shelf, a knickknack. It might be a little toolkit, but it's going to be mostly nothing bigger, than this size. You might get some that size, but most of the stuff is going to be small. So they call them the Amazon Smalls. Once you get to the mediums are, typically about this size, maybe 18 by 18 by 18 goes to the mediums. And then the Amazon has large truckloads, Amazon large. So that's like treadmills and TVs and, and desks and office chairs and stuff like that. You're going to get in the large. So as you get bigger, the price comes down. Smalls truckloads are about 20,000 plus or minus. Mediums truckloads are about 8,000 plus or minus. Larges are only about 3,000 plus or minus. So I will buy all three of them. I don't care which one it is. I'll buy them as long as they're close to me, because when you're paying $3,000 for a large, you don't want to pay $4,000 in shipping, right? It doesn't make any sense. You want it to be down the road, so you're only paying $500 in shipping. So, anything that's close to me, anything in Florida, I like to buy. You gotta capitalize off your local loads. You got to find the local nonprofits in your area selling this stuff. You got to find the local guys that are picking up. I've always recommended anybody in this business, whether if you're flipping, if you're a liquidation store, if you're a bin store, no matter what you want, no matter what you do, you need to go to your local Amazon distribution center, park your ass outside, and watch the trucks that come in. Well, if you see a U-Haul, follow it, right? Follow it. And when they park, when they stop to get gas, talk to them, ask them what they got, if they're selling those loads. Because if you could be the buyer of those loads all the time, it's going to do great for you. If you see a branded truck, like a haul-away truck or a recycler or something like that, go to that company and talk to them. See if you can build a relationship with them, because there's a reason why they're there, and normally the reason can benefit you. So sit across the street a whole day, a whole week. I mean, I know my guys pick up every day. So if you spend, from 5 in the morning to 5 at night, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to get about 10 different references of places that you can go. Because I see it everywhere now. Where it used to be just one person was getting this stuff, now I see it everywhere. So you have to find the people, and then you have to be a problem solver for the people. Because if my understanding is right, some of them have unlimited that they can pick up. So if you tell them, I'll give you X number of dollars for every truckload you get, and I'll buy one a day, you're solving a problem, right? They'll go pick up yours in the morning and then go pick up another load in the afternoon and sell by the piece or something, so find these people.
How many employees do Amazon have?
Amazon? I mean, I would
a bunch, right?
I would guess like 250,000. I know they just put an ad out that they're hiring 50,000 new employees. So, I mean, that's probably even low. I don't even know how many that.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Where are you going?
So, you were talking about you were at Hooters enjoying your wings, and you didn't talk to an Amazon employee. But there's so many Amazon employees. If we spoke to at least one of them, and then asked them to connect us with someone else, and then someone else, and someone else, and someone else, we would be able to find the source on where we can get some of this stuff somehow.
Right. Okay. So 2 things about that.
Oh, okay.
First of all, Amazon, you need to be you either need to be a nonprofit in order to pick up these loads, which we are not. And I refuse to. People are like, oh, just form a nonprofit. There's a lot of shady nonprofits out there. I don't want to be a shady nonprofit. There's a lot of shady church nonprofits, a lot of shady drug rehab nonprofits. There's so many shady things like that. I don't want to be part of it. So I'm not going to be a nonprofit. The second thing, you got to be a contract holder. All right. And then they bid on the contracts. Some people tell me it's per warehouse. Some people tell me it's for a group of warehouses. I don't even know. But you need to have millions and millions of dollars in in an escrow or an account or something so that you can keep up with that contract, because, they're telling you, whatever the price. I mean, I don't know if you're paying a percentage of retail, which I'm assuming you are. That you're probably buying it from Amazon for 8% of retail, and you're reselling it for something more than that, right? Probably 50. I mean, I see some of 15%, 10%, 8%, depending on what it is. So Or some companies buy it for the 8% of retail, take it to their warehouse, take out everything they want, repackage it, and then sell it at the 8%. So they get all their money back by going through and taking out and cherry picking, because there's some contract holders that have like hundreds of stores, right? I know there's a couple. I think there's some in the Carolinas and then some up in Indiana, Ohio area that have hundreds of these liquidation stores, and they cherry pick it. So just be careful. That's why I like my loads direct from Amazon. Anytime I want to see, they're called FC loads, fulfillment center loads. You want to find fulfillment center loads so you know it's coming direct to you. Nobody has a chance to put their grubby hands on it, because you don't even want it. You know, they're going to say, oh, it just came to our warehouse and we shipped it out. You don't even want that, right? Because people do this. I do it when something comes in, you know, I peek.
Yeah.
I peek. I'm like, oh, is that an S21 phone? You know?
We have plenty of people that look through our pallets and they're like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So we have a Facebook user that says, what's a good percentage?
Well, so I put a post in Bin Store. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, Bin Store Co-op, if you're a flipper, a buyer, a bin store owner, or a liquidator, anything, please join that group, because there's a lot of great information in there. There's no brokers are allowed. I try to delete the brokers. You know, I want to come clean about what I do with broker loads in there. When a broker posts a load, I let it sit there for maybe a day or two, and then I delete it, because I feel like it does bring some value to the group, right? If it's a good price on a load, but I don't want it to be muddied up with all broker loads, because, you know, Liquidation Truckloads is another great site on Facebook, but it's all broker loads. So whenever you ask a question, the question gets buried at the bottom because so many broker loads are coming. I want this to be about the community helping each other out. So what was so what was a good percentage? My point was, I put in the Bin Store Co-op group the other day that Essex was offering a load at 6%, and which was the lowest percentage I ever saw. But somebody pointed out, well, that's because Excess Limited has stores. So one of these 6% loads are the ones I'm talking about. They're bringing it to their warehouse, they're processing it, and then selling the rest of the load out. Now they're not cheating you, because they do sell it manifested. Okay, so you know what's in the load, but when you read the manifest, it's all cell phone cases and masks, and it's you know, it's like, you know, first of all, I bought this on Amazon, right, and it broke within a day. I like the phone ring thing on here. Too. And broke within a day. I think I paid like $15 for it. Yeah, this is what I like. I paid $15, but they have cell phone cases on there, which are private label Chinese products, and it'll say like iPhone. What's the newest iPhone? 12. So it'll say iPhone 12 case, value $79.99, and you're like, no, you can't get $1 out of it, right? So 6% of $80 is $4.80, and they got 10,000 of those cases in this truckload. Right? So you have to look at those manifests to make sure it's not littered up with all that stuff. If you go through a manifest, you know, and I swear to God, what they do is they put like one good item, right? So on the top, so you look at the manifest, and right on the top of the manifest, it says iPhone 12, you know, $1,400, right? And then the next item is like something worth 100, and then the next item, but there's 20,000 items. You know, the top 3 items are decent, and the rest is all junk. It's not good enough for them to put in their stores. It's not good enough for your bin store. So it's just garbage. So be careful of those kind of loads. There are a lot of them out there. So that's why I like direct ship from Amazon. Then you know there's no cherry picking. There's nobody going through them. So you know, so what's a good percentage? My biggest thing is 10%. I love 10%. If I can get 10% untouched, it's always a home run, right? 10% untouched, not all the cell phone cases and stuff like that in there. Because I like to triple my money. So if I'm buying at 10%, an easy sale is 30%. Okay, so you're gonna take all your product in there, right? A third of it you're gonna be able to sell at 50%. Okay, a third of it you're gonna be able to sell at 30%, and a third of it you're gonna be able to sell at 10%. But gross overall, you're gonna get 30%, triple your money. That's a good deal on a truckload. That makes you money. That makes them money. That makes your customers happy. Okay, so everybody wins in a 10% load. Anytime you go higher than that, somebody has to give and take. You know, your profit goes down. Customers aren't as happy, so they're not buying as much. So and the brokers aren't the ones losing. We're the ones losing. If you pay 15%, you want to triple your money, you got to average 45%, and it's almost impossible to average 45% unless it's a killer load. It's got to be a killer load. When I bought the $50,000 worth of electronics from Target, we paid 35% on that load. So I had very little margin. I only bought it because I wanted all that good stuff in my store to accompany everything else. So I got AirPods and Beats and all that kind of stuff. That's the only reason I bought a 35% load. You can't make money on that stuff. The higher end stuff, the grade A stuff, what do I consider A? Something that sells real fast, like an iPad, an Apple phone, anything Apple really sells super fast. But higher end stuff, you can get 60, 70% of retail. Most stuff you can get 50, and then a lot of stuff you're only going to be able to 25, 20%. So that averages around 45%, right? So if you're buying at 35 and making 45, how are you going to pay your overhead? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So yes, 10% is my best break.
So Fast Planet says, biggest mistake you've made in the liquidation business? What was your biggest mistake?
Steven. Freaking Steven. I still think about Steven. I don't know about daily now. Maybe weekly now I think about Steven.
Will you be able to explain the Steven story?
Yeah. So Steven. So currently you can get smalls in Florida. So I have a buddy. My old manager opened up his own bin store. He put me onto a guy named Steven. So I call Steven up. Steven obviously was in the business because he knew the lingo. He knew everything about the business. I don't know about everything, but he could talk the talk. So he said there was Amazon small loads out of Orlando for $13,000. $13,000. And I'm like, listen, I'll buy that, and I'll buy all of it. So I don't care how many truckloads coming out of that facility. I'll buy it all. He's like, you will? I'm like, yeah, but if I'm going to buy it all, we're going to negotiate a lower price. But get me one, and then we'll negotiate. It's like, no problem, Tom. So this is where I should have stopped. So he sends me an invoice, which standard in the business, right? And it's got the company name and everything on there. And so I wire him the money, and the wire gets rejected. And I'm like, well, what's going on? So, Steven, what's going on, buddy? He goes, oh, sorry, man. It's that account. Just send it to my wife's. This is my wife's name. Send it to my wife's account. That should have been can you put a jackass symbol on the wall behind me? Hang on one second. Uh-oh. That's my wife. Must be the school called my wife. So the minute that Steven told me to send it to his wife, I should have stopped. I should have known something was going on. But my dumb ass, I was so excited about the deal and so excited about the prospect of finding Amazon Smalls, 50 miles from me at an incredible price that I decided to go through it with it anyways. So what Steven did is he ordered, and I met the broker in Vegas that actually did the transaction. He ordered a Lowe's general merchandise load, which is like, right now I think it's $2,400 out of Atlanta plus shipping, and he shipped that to me. So I had a tracking number, right? I knew a truck was coming. The truck called me, hey, where are you at, man? Where are you at? Right? And then a truck shows up. I thought it'd be the Smalls, and all of a sudden it's Home Depot. It's Lowe's general merchandise. So I'm like, what is this? I'm like, dumbass Lowe's made a mistake. They shipped me an order they shouldn't have, right? So I unload the Lowe's load, and then I'm like waiting for the Smalls. Text Steven. Steven doesn't answer. An hour later, text Steven. Steven doesn't answer. I'm like, hey man, are you scamming me? Steven doesn't answer. So about 8 o'clock at night, I finally realized this son of a gun, but I didn't put together, there it is. That's me. That was me in this situation. I didn't put together that he shipped me the Lowe's load. I just thought my other broker that I buy Lowe's from, I think he made he must have made a mistake, right? Shipped me a Lowe's load. I didn't put it together that it was Steven. So there's a twist to this at the end. Okay, so Steven won't talk to me. Steven won't. So I go on. I do like some research on Facebook, and I'm searching, and I find out who this Steven idiot is, right? And then I find his girlfriend, who I sent the money to because I had her name because I sent her the wire. I even called their bank the next day and tried it, and I called my bank, which Bank of America, they did do shit. But I get that with wires, right? That's why we send wires, because you can't get them back, right? If they were an honest company, they would take credit cards and charge a 3% fee, right? Because then the load's legit. But most companies don't do that because they don't want to have the resolution in both of your hands, right? They want the resolution only. That's why these company takes wires, right? Only wires. Because if there's a problem, they control the money, and whoever controls the money wins, right? If you paid by a credit card and ordered one thing and got something different, what do? You dispute it, right? Yeah. You can dispute it. That's why they don't let you pay by credit cards. So I think the most legit companies would let you pay by credit cards. I know I have a company. I have a company that I order from, and they let you get a line of credit, so you don't have to pay for 30 days on your loads. So I would, you can make a dispute, right? At least you have some backing to make a dispute. So I got a hold of Steven's girlfriend, and I'm texting it, messaging her on Facebook, and finally he got on, and he was like, "Listen, you stupid whatever, I got you, just deal with being scammed." And and then he must have looked at my Facebook, and he says, I'm gonna hit up your pretty wife if you don't shut up, and I was pretty mad, I was pretty upset. But then and I'm like, I'm driving to his house because I think he lived in Tennessee or so. I'm going up there. I know where he lives, right? I'm gonna go up there and beat his ass, right? And then I finally settled down and realized, I'm sorry if I grabbed your hand. I settled down and realized I got beat, man. I got beat. And then that night, I swear to God, that night, a car drove through Steven's house. We have a video. We have it on video. A car drove through Steven's house. Steven was a dirtbag, so he probably didn't have renter's insurance. He probably didn't have any drove through his house, smashed his whole house up, and all I could say was karma. Karma, man. Karma. I have a business partner that one time said to me, Tom, I never want to make bad decisions in my life. We're talking about customer service, and even though somebody wants a return like months after the return, Tom, just give it to him because karma will repay us in the end. Karma bit Steven in the ass, and that's my biggest mistake. That's my biggest mistake in the liquidation business, and I hope you guys can learn from that. Hope you guys can learn.
Hey, so Dom Valenti says, "Hey Tom, can you review the common acronyms in the truckload industry? I know you just said FC is fulfillment center. What about LPN or LTL, etc.? Which is preferred loads for bin stores?" Do you know what LPN is?
Loss prevention. I think LPN's. So I think LPN is the white stickers that Amazon.
Should I Google it?
I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, you can Google it. Right. But they're so you can get loads that have LPN numbers on it, and so that's Amazon's way of tracking what's in the pallet. They have these LPN numbers. So that's what that is. LTL is that's just a licensed practical nurse. So there's LTL, which is long. I think it's long tail trucking or something like that. So that LTL. So you can get a truckload, a whole truckload, or you can get a couple pallets. So I'm not really in the trucking business, but if I see those acronyms, I know what they mean. So it's LTL is if you're getting a full truckload, and then there's another one for less than a truckload, maybe LTN. I don't know. But so remember when you buy 12 pallets, so there's times like on B stock where I bought in 12 pallets and the shipping on the 12 pallets was, let's say, $3,000. But remember, 12 pallets is only half a truckload. So for me to buy 12 more pallets from the same facility would cost me zero shipping. So you want to try to fill a truckload up if you're going to go to 12 pallets. All right, you want to make sure that truckload is filled because it's the same price whether you ship 12 or 24. Just about. I mean, they might have some weight differences in calculating things, but
LTL,
I know 3PL is a big term you need to learn. That's a third-party liquidator. So that would be what we're talking about, the people that buy the smalls and then they go through it and process it. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad people and I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that I like to buy the truckloads where I can find the good stuff.
You simply do it differently.
Yeah. So, but what they do provide a service to people. So they'll get the smalls, right? And they'll have 3 sorting bins, right? One will be stuff under $10. So they'll sell that to you for 50 cents a piece. Anything under $10 in a small pellet. And they do it by the piece count. So if you're a small bin store, that's a value to you. Then they'll do another bin, which everything is under, I don't know, $30. And they'll sell that for $1 a piece. All right. So you can buy that pallet if you want a little bit more high-end stuff. And then they'll take the better stuff, either sell it on eBay or try to wholesale it for 50% of retail or something like that.
So Howard Sherburne Sr. says LTL less than load.
Oh, less than, okay. So LTL is less than a truckload. So that would be 12 pallets or under. I'm sorry, under 12 pallets. And then, and then there's going to be a full truckload. That you get a full truckload price. So remember, if you're at about the 12 rate, you might as well buy a double load because the shipping's the same, and shipping is huge.
Oliver Burton says, "Hey Tom, hope all is well. Today we have been offered e-waste from Amazon in Canada. Would it be worth importing to you by the 40 feet containers?"
Okay. So since you brought up the topic, I'm allowed to talk about it because normally I'm not allowed to talk about e-waste.
Okay.
All right, because I'm just going to leave it at that. The short answer to you is yes, I certainly would buy it from you. The question would be, what's the price? Now, I know I'm very familiar with the industry, and it's, I know that these loads are gotten for no money or very little money, or just shipping costs from the source.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tap dance around this, okay? So
you have mentioned it in several videos.
Yeah, and I get a little feedback because I do buy some of it, but I can't. The people I buy it from say I can never talk about it, so that's why I don't really talk about it. And there's other people that get mad at me when I talk about it because they're afraid I'm going to ruin the industry by talking about it. That if things get out, that it'll be cut off.
Okay.
But I don't foresee that happening. I don't know, Amazon selling all this stuff hurts Amazon. They're dumping all this merchandise onto the market that now people aren't buying that merchandise from them, right? They're buying it in the liquidation style. I mean, if they were smart, they would pick a continent, let's say South America, and we take everything to South America and let South America have it so that the North American market doesn't have to deal with all this overstock. But that's not their philosophy. They dump it on the North American market, which I believe hurts their sales. And I believe it hurts their reputation too, right? Because if they're taking stuff off their shelves that should be destroyed and it's not being destroyed, maybe it's counterfeit and it gets put back on the market, I think they hurt themselves. But that's a whole different topic. So my answer to you is yes. I would love for you to reach out to me. Give me a price on it. Canada's going to be a little expensive to ship. I've bought in these loads for very, very cheap at times. And then I've also bought it for quite substantially more. And I'd be happy to share those numbers with you. If I could get it delivered in the middle of the two prices I bought, I would buy everything that I could get. It's just, I mean, I can't get the cheap loads anymore. The expensive loads just aren't as profitable. I don't make much money when I pay the higher rate, when I pay the middle. So I'm willing to pay a middle rate, and we can certainly discuss that.
Is it okay if I share this email address?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
There's my email down there, or you can private message me on here. Amanda said the shh. Said shh. I get it, Amanda. I get it. I'm definitely not trying to hurt anybody in this industry, and I get it. I get it why nobody wants me to talk about it. But people really need to know the truth, and if you're buying these loads, you kind of know the dirty little secrets of the industry, and the more if you want to be successful, you got to learn those dirty little secrets. And I'll be more than willing to talk to people privately about it. I just can't share it here on the videos. So
Bob King says, "My name is Steven, but not the car in the house, Steven. Is Consign Pro the only system I need?"
So Bob, I would need to know what you're doing, but Consign Pro is designed for the consignment industry. And so in my liquidation store, it's perfect because I put stuff in the inventory under. So I'm consigner number one. So anything that comes into the store gets put underneath my inventory number. And then if somebody sells me something, consigner number two could be Esteban. I can control the inventory underneath Esteban's name. So the problem with buying off the public is that sometimes you buy stolen stuff. If you don't like that, don't get into business because sometimes you buy stolen stuff. But I lived in New York where there was pawn shops were illegal.
Really?
And I would buy stolen stuff inadvertently all the time.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, where pawn shops are legal, I have in 2 years, I have zero complaints about. I'm sorry, 0 times police have come in about stolen merchandise. Now I did have one complaint. One complaint claims her niece stole a ring or something. You know, this is just the other day. So in 2 years, just last week, we got our first complaint. So I'm shocked that Florida has less stolen merchandise than New York, but I think it's because of pawn shops, right? Maybe they're taking all the stuff to the pawn shops. But so if Esteban sells me this Bitcoin bull, I put it in the system underneath his name, all his information, and then I print out a tag and put it on the bull. And the tag says consigner number 2, which is Esteban. So if the police come in and say, where'd you get the Bitcoin bull, right? Mm-hmm. I can pull it up. I can print off my contract with Esteban, which has his license number and everything in there. I can print off everything I've ever sold, Esteban's ever sold to me in the history of my company and give it to the police. And then I also videotape everything I buy. So I also give them the video. So the truth, the dirty, ugly truth about pawn shops, liquidation stores, all these kind of stores, is that if a police officer is investigating something stolen, they want me to have it, right? Because I solve their case. I say, here's his license, here's his contract, here's his video, here's everything for you. Go home and smoke a cigarette and drink some whiskey because your job is done, right? That's what police like about guys like us, people like us. Now, if you're going to be shady and an officer walks in and you're going to be like, I'm not answering any questions, you know, they're going to come down on you hard, man. Just give them the information. Give up the merchandise and move on. Now, that brings up another problem, though, another problem that everybody needs to understand in my policy. And some people won't like this, but what I've also experienced in life is like, so that lady that said her niece stole the ring, right? Let's say I did buy the ring, which I didn't buy the ring. If I did buy the ring, the aunt will want me to just give her the ring. So let's say I paid $100 for the ring. The aunt will want me to just give her the ring. But I won't give her the ring. The aunt, I ask him to do one of two things. I ask him to either press charges on the niece, and then the ring goes into police custody, and they get it back after the person has been tried. Or number 2, they pay me my value that I have into that ring. So I paid the niece $100. They got to give me my money back, or I'm not giving them the ring because I'm going to suffer a loss because of the relationship between the aunt and the niece. So they have to pay me back my costs. Sometimes they get mad at me, but I don't, what I don't like is that most of the time they don't prosecute the theft. 99% of the time, it's somebody in their family, it's their nephew that's on drugs, or it's their next door neighbor. They don't prosecute. So then I become harmed in the case. And it's not fair for me to become harmed because of their relationship. So that's why I like Consign Pro. It's a great source to keep track. I have hundreds of thousands of items in inventory, and it's only I think it's $1,000 to get one copy. Now we have 6 copies running here. When you start networking, things get very strange and very weird, and you're always having to do updates and calling customer service. But when you're running one copy in a store, I had one copy in a store for probably 7 years, and I never did anything with it, and it worked perfectly. So I recommend the software Consign Pro. All right, my name is Steven. Where am I going? Consign Pro. All right. LOL, don't want them to take the product away from the U.S. I agree with you, Amanda. I don't want them to do either. But I don't know if there's ever going to be a point in time where they have issues with what's going on with the product hitting the market in the USA. I definitely think that. I mean, think about how many truckloads are being sold daily. I mean, my guess is, definitely hundreds, if not. Probably hundreds, probably 300 or 400 truckloads a day are being sold, and that would be my guess. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's got to harm them. Hey, Tom, on average, 6,000 plus shipping from Canada. Oh, that's a good deal, Oliver. That's a good deal. I'd buy that, Oliver. I'd buy, if it's what I, you know what, first of all, I'd buy one of them to test it out. But if it's what I think it is, if it's what I've gotten before, and I have pictures of the boxes I could show you, I would buy that, and I would buy that all the time, and I would buy everything that you had. I would never stop buying from you. So Oliver, certainly. All right, Fast Planet. Those recycle loads are full of items that were pulled off Amazon for product safety issues. The reason everyone says to be quiet about them is that they are not supposed to be resold. Yeah, I get that. So they come with just about anything. You know, my experience with them is, you know, you'll get something will have corner. If an electronic item gets corner damage in a box, you know, it'll be in there. I get cell phones, I get iPads, but not all of them. You know, some pallets are just filled with, you know, LED yard lights, you know, and some pallets are actually filled with printers and stuff from Amazon. Their actual product, their actual e-waste. So they're very good loads. I like them. I love them. That price you're talking about, Oliver, is spot on. It's right where it's in my sweet spot. So I definitely like it. But I do agree there are some items with safety issues. You know, I've bought and resold things that I later found out were on recall. You know, so when we find something on recall, we get rid of it immediately. We destroy it. So you do have to be careful about that kind of stuff. I am doing a bin store. Bob King, I'm doing a bin store as well, but having trouble finding a good system. But I want to offer consignment as well and take payments all in one. Yeah, Consign Pro definitely can help you with that, with your payments, and it keeps track of all your consigners. So certainly, if you're going to do that, I would do it. That's an interesting concept to have you can have your bin store in the middle, and then your consign store on the side or on the outside, and you can take products in. Yeah, because nobody will confuse. You know, if somebody brings in a, you know, who knows, a camera like Stan is using right here, a Canon camera, you know, and puts it on consignment with you. Nobody will confuse that with the stuff that's in the bins. So I kind of like that idea. I don't like mixing a bin store with a liquidation section, like, because what the customers think is you're pulling all the good stuff out and putting on the side. I mean, unless it's like furniture and stuff like that. But as the interview said yesterday with Damien didn't do well with even furniture. So now he just palletizes the furniture and sells it like that. I do like a combo bin store pallet store because it makes sense that you're just dumping pallets into the bins and not picking anything. That makes sense. But I don't like liquidation store bin store because the customers get confused. We find a lot of recycles sell the stock illegally. The stock is with a direct contract with permission to sell and export from it. Oh, Oliver, then I love it, man. I love it. I'm telling you, Oliver. I'm telling you. Look at my eyes, Oliver. Can you see my eyes, Oliver? Anyways, I would buy that stuff all the time. If that's what I think it is. So I just ordered some of this well, I'm not going to talk about it. I just ordered some of this. That's all I'm going to say. And if it's the same kind of stuff, you're much better priced, I would buy it, and I would buy all of it. I would buy all of it. I don't care how many trucks a week you got. I would be the Amazon Canadian e-scrap guru in the world, man. I'd buy it all. I don't care how much you had. What is the difference in liquidation versus bin stores? So that is Amanda. So liquidation would be, you know, say we have a pallet, we're breaking down, we're dumping in the bins, and this is more expensive. My Bitcoin bull is worth, let's say it's got a real Bitcoin in it, right? That's worth $50,000 today. Broke $50,000 today. You would take out the more expensive stuff and put it on a shelf on the side and like say, oh, this is $100 retail, so we're selling it for $50. What customers say, like, oh, well, they're taking all the expensive stuff out, put it on the shelf. I don't like that. Now, if you want to pull the expensive stuff out and sell it on Marketplace or eBay or something like that, I'm good with that. As long as it's not in your bin store, I'm good with that. You know, so we have a large liquidation store, and then we have 2 bin stores opening more. We take the expensive stuff, put it in our bin store. I'm sorry, in our large liquidation store, then send the rest to the bin store. But I mean, you know, a lot of times, you know, there are pallets that we send there that we never even touch. We don't even know what's in it because we don't have the time to go through it all. And that's where people are finding phones and tablets and all the good stuff. So Bob King, that helps so much. Thanks, Bob. I love Consign Pro. They have a great. You call if you get the customer service package with it, you call them up. They answered. The only downside is they're like working 9 to 5, and then shorter hours on Saturday. So if you have a problem on weekends, it's a little more difficult. But I mean, they're super fast to respond, and they're good people. They're good people. John, Tom, any advice on how to network to find suppliers locally? Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, John. I'll mention it again. I would park my ass across the street from an Amazon liquidation center. You know, all right, okay, start here first. Go to Facebook Marketplace and type in Amazon. And, you know, over to the left, you gotta, it says, you know, where do you want it delivered? And you just want to put locally, because otherwise you get all the people shipping and stuff all over the United States. Right. So Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, locally, maybe within 100 miles of you, right? And then look at all you're going to see Amazon tablets and, you know, the Fire Sticks, right? But you're going to look, and then you're going to see Stan, put the mystery boxes behind me again. And then you're going to see this picture right here. Watch this picture. Here it comes. Here it comes. When you see this picture, you know that this is either a reseller like me, or it's a nonprofit, okay? So they are picking these boxes up and they're reselling them. So you need to contact that person and try to be a pain solver for them, okay? Because like the person that I buy from had like 10 storage units, right? They're $150 each, so they're paying $1,500 a month. They're moving this stuff to storage units. They're putting it on Facebook Marketplace. They're bringing customers in. So they're in Florida in 102-degree heat, in a freaking storage unit selling Amazon stuff, right? They're sweating their nads off. They're not having a good time. They're having, you know, they get home from a long day, then somebody calls them, they got to go back, and they're 17 miles from their house. Is that fun for them? No. You know what's fun? Getting a whole truckload, right? This lady, oh, look at what do you see here? Gets this whole truckload. That's a great picture. That's my picture.
No, that's open.
Huh?
It's open.
Oh, there's one open.
Oh, but is that for my truck?
No.
Okay, but this is exactly what my trucks look like when they come in. So now this lady brings them to me, and I buy the whole truck off her. The whole truck. So she can get rid of the storage units, right? Mm-hmm. She can get rid of the person that has to sit there all day. She can get rid of her nasty clothes because she's been sweating all over them, you know, and I solved her problem. So as many as she gets like this, she brings them to me and I buy them. We have a set price that I buy. And that's how you got to do it. And so so remember, Marketplace, find these boxes, talk to them, solve their problems. Some people, you can't solve their problems. Some people want to do this hustle. There's a lady in my town that is getting Amazon Smalls now that never was getting them before, but she's a medical device recycler. So she buys medical equipment from hospitals or picks up, I don't even know if she buys it, and then she resells the medical equipment. So Amazon reached out to her and said, hey, we have all this excess merchandise. Can you come pick it up? So I went to her and I said, hey, I'm your problem solver. She's like, Tom, all I want to do is sell medical devices. I make so much money. You should have seen her car. Her car was like $200,000. I mean, a decked out Mercedes with black on black and black. My son was like, Dad, you got to get that. Anyway, so I know she's making bang. And then she's peddling $2 Amazon stuff. So I said, I'm your problem solver. And she's like, you know, my dad is retired and, you know, he loves doing this. So I'm just going to keep doing it. All right. I can't solve your problem, right? She didn't have a problem. My lady with the storage units had problems. So if you can be a problem solver, do that. Second thing is sit outside of Amazon for a whole day, 24 hours, not 24 hours, 8 hours straight. Get there early though. A lot of these guys pick up at 6, 7 in the morning. So get there at 5 and stay till 5. That's 12 hours. Watch all the trucks that go in and out. All the trucks that go in and out, and make sure and follow them to their destinations. You're not looking for tractor trailers. You're looking for U-Hauls, and you're looking for branded stores. Okay, even if it's a furniture, you know, truck going in there, yeah, you got to go talk to those people, because any private label truck, right, will say not a big tractor trailer. Any smaller truck is picking something up. You know, they're picking something up. Now, there's a lot of small delivery vehicles that go into Amazon. So if they're not labeled, you know, if they're not labeled, they're probably picking up, because Amazon picks up product from one facility and takes it to like a hub, because they know it's being delivered. They have that all worked out. So those trucks aren't the 26-foot trucks that aren't labeled aren't the ones you want. You want the rented trucks, and you want the company trucks, like local company trucks. Follow those trucks, talk to those people, solve those problems.
Oliver Burton says, by the way, do you do discounted rates for consignment if we were to spend pallets of a quality stock, like new Apple phones, laptop, watches?
Would I do discounted rates? Yeah, if we were to send. So right now I do 60-40. So I do 60% goes to the consigner, 40% goes to me. I mean, I certainly, if somebody wanted to give me some higher end stock, would work some. I know I have a guy that one of my biggest consigners picks up. He buys tool truckloads, and then he buys picks up from Disney, right? Imagine have the contract to pick up from Disney, right? I mean, anything Disney is worth money. So, and I think he gets it all free. I could be wrong, but I think he gets it all free. And he brings it to me, puts it on consignment. I did negotiate him, so we do a 70-30 split on everything that he sells. Now remember, Consign Pro, you can change the percentage rate in Consign Pro what anybody gets, and it keeps track of everything. So when the customer comes in, you look up the customer right at the bottom. It says you owe me $328, and you either pay him cash or you write him a check. It's a great system.
All right, Bob King says we are running our store out of our second floor dining room. We make about $7,000 a month just working on the finance part.
That is awesome. That is incredible, man. I love that, man. But keep your costs down. We talk about this, right? You got to get your money right, right? You got to get your money right. All right. I saw somebody posted on one of the, I don't know if it was the liquidation truckloads. Somebody posted on there like, I need somebody who has good faith and good people and, buy me a truckload. I have the facility, but I can't afford the truckload. And, will somebody out there, bless their heart, do this for me? And you got to get your money right. You got to get your credit right. You got to get your money right. And you have to choose when you're going to start doing that. Everybody has to choose when you start doing it. What you're really saying to me is that you want to borrow money for a truckload is that I'm irresponsible. I've made poor decisions in my life, and I can't afford to buy a truckload. Will you be irresponsible and help an irresponsible person buy a truckload? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to be a bank. I'm not a bank. Am I an investor? I'm an investor, but I'm not a bank. I'm not loaning people money to do things, especially irresponsible people. You want to give money to people that are proven. You want the guy that has 10 stores, and says, hey, you want to open an 11th store and we can work something. Those are the kind of people you want. But so I forget what. So 100%, you're operating $7,000 a month out of your second floor, so there's no additional cost because you're doing it out of your house. I freaking love that. I love that. Bank your money. Keep putting your money away until you can afford the store. I would say you would need, I don't know, if you want to do a small store, maybe $30,000. If you want to do a big store, maybe $40,000 or $50,000. But get to that level and then bang, hit it. Take it 10x. But you know what? There's a certain level of happiness that people have that I don't understand. Okay, which means there's a buddy of mine one time, and he was a painter, right? He was a painter, and he worked on a military base. So like the minimum pay for a painter on the military base was like $28 an hour. I don't know what he made, but I knew he had to be paid more than $28 an hour. And he'd been a painter for like 5 years. So they wanted to make him a manager, right? So he was going to go from $28 an hour to $40 an hour. And he looked at me and he says, you think I want to get a phone call on the weekend? You think that if somebody doesn't show up, I want to work late? I don't want to be a manager. And that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That blew my mind that people actually, because I would like, hell yeah, I want to be the manager. I want to be in charge. And I want to expand this 10x, right? Yeah, it blew my mind. But there's people out there. So I go back to, no, you're right. So I go back to Earl Nightingale, all right, the 1950 speech of Earl Nightingale. And he talks about what is a success? What is a success? So a success in life.
Who is a successful person? Yeah.
It's the achievement of a worthwhile goal.
That's right.
And that's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, so you need the self-realization of really where you come from, right? You need to know what makes you happy, man. And happiness is different for everybody. Yeah. It's different for everybody. So
it could be a I could be a wood carver, and and that's what I want to do in life, and that might be the thing.
Absolutely. So, his example was like, if you wanted to, your dream was to be a kindergarten teacher that makes 28 grand a year, you're a success. Money doesn't define success. Happiness, I think, defines success.
Very true.
Because when you're successful, you're happy.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, I don't think my wife's watching this, what would make somebody not happy, and maybe they have to find that success in their own mind. So if you feel like you're successful in your second floor kitchen or second floor dining room, keep it there, baby, because there's that sweet spot where you're making good money, and sometimes you break out of that. See, Jordan Peterson talked about this. A lot of times when he's talking about politics and change, like, when you got something working pretty good, not great, but pretty good, why do you want to change it to get it to great? Because you got it working pretty good.
Yeah.
You might make the change and all of a sudden, boom, you're gone. When you got pretty good, what you probably do making $7 grand a month in your second story dining room, you might not want to change it. Now, I like change and I like trying to go bigger or go home, but it's not for everybody. So I get it. If you're happy, stay there, baby. Stay there. I love it.
Progress.
I love it.
Progress, not perfection.
That's right, baby. What do we got next? Whoa, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That is it. Wow, we went 1 hour and 20 minutes today. Hey, 32 watchers on right now live. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Esteban, for sharing the time with me. So my store is Resell America in the Lakeland Square Mall. My 2 bin stores are Deal Days in Port Richey, which is in it's in oh man, I always forget the address. It's on 19 in Port Richey. So they're having a grill giveaway, I believe, on Saturday. So go down there. We're going to give away a grill for Labor Day. Go Saturday to Port Richey, Jasmine Plaza. And then we have another bin store in Winter Haven, 2820 Recker Highway, called Deal Days. Liquidation Motivations, my YouTube channel. Please, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe. And
Yeah,
one more comment.
Oh, wait. Hang on, there's a bunch coming in.
Uh-oh. It wouldn't be as far as I am without you. So thanks again. We are hoping our sales for the year can give us a credit card that can help us finance. There you go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, with all due respect, Bob, I wouldn't recommend a credit card just because of the 17%, 21, 23%. I mean, listen, I have perfect credit. I have very good credit. I've had bad credit. I don't know why, and I love my parents to death. They never explained to me the impact on credit on your life. They never explained it to me. Credit is so important, so important. Listen, even if you're tight, you have 30 days after a bill is due to make that payment. Nothing happens to your credit until that 30-day mark, okay? Make sure you pay your bills within 30 days and get good credit. I've claimed bankruptcy. I've had 400 and something credit in my life, and now I have great credit. Yeah. When you get great credit, everything opens up for you. So now I can get a personal loan. I use like Credit Karma to track my credit, and I don't get paid for this, but then they show like all these personal loans you can get for 4% and 5% interest, right? Now, my favorite thing to do, so I use my crypto. I can stake it's called staking. I can put my crypto somewhere and get a 1% loan. That is unheard of, and that's why crypto is changing the world. That's called decentralized finance. So I have a loan out right now where I borrowed 1%. I borrowed $190,000 for 1% interest, and then I took that money and bought more crypto, because in my mind I'm like, will Bitcoin go up more than 1% in a year? And the answer is, yeah, of course it will, right? It goes on an average 200% a year. So if you're going to borrow smartly. Credit cards will get you killed, right? And I'm no Dave Ramsey fan. I think you go into debt to build wealth. I am happy. I owe millions of dollars right now in debt. I owe millions of dollars in debt, but I also own 8 houses, 3 restaurants, a liquidation store, 2 bin stores, right? So all that is bringing wealth to me. Now it takes time to pay that off, but remember, wealth is a journey. Wealth is a 20-year journey to get rich, and I'm 2 years away from getting rich. So I'm very excited about it. So just use your credit wisely. Get good credit and use it wisely. That's my advice for you. Need another video on cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Amanda, I love you, Amanda. Are you single, Amanda? I'm sorry, I'm just joking. I'm married. But yes, I love talking about cryptocurrency. I love talking about you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You know, I have some revelations. I am on another podcast. It's called Pump Your Coin. Pump Your Coin. Now, some of the early episodes are just teaching people the basics of crypto, but now I'm in there kind of expressing my opinion about everything that I love and believe in crypto. I believe it's the future. I believe that I'm coming to some new conclusions that I'm going to discuss with these guys right after we're done with this video. You know, the metaverse, how money is transferred, where Bitcoin will succeed, where Ethereum will succeed. I think it's two different concepts, and they're both going to be huge, but they're going to play out in different ways. I love talking about crypto. I love it's brought me wealth beyond my dreams. My crypto birthday is August 2018. When is yours?
December 7th of 2020.
2020. So everybody has a crypto birthday. Stan, when is yours?
January 2021.
January. Well, you had to readjust your birthday because he had to sell it because he got married. So I don't recommend selling it. But everybody has a birthday for crypto, and you need to make sure your birthday is today. The best time to do it, you know, okay, when's the best time to plant a tree? 10 years ago, right? Because now the tree would be grown. When's the second best time?
Right now.
Today.
And,
Today.
And you say that crypto is the future. I think crypto's now. Crypto is 100% now. There's lots of evidence of it. And I highly recommend that we all educate ourselves when it comes to crypto, blockchain technology, and NFTs and such, and everything that has to do with blockchain technology and crypto.
Yeah. Let me just say this real quick. Not real quick, but let me say this. Blockchain. Okay. Now, if you're saying right now, what is blockchain? You don't know what the future is going to be like. You have no idea
Everything is going to
what the future is. Everything changes. As big as the internet was in the 1990s and early 2000s, this is the whole potential market for this is about $500 trillion for crypto. $500 trillion is the total addressable market, right? Right now, the value is $2 trillion for all of crypto. So it can 250x from where it's at right now.
Yeah.
That's the potential market. And now will it only go up 50x? I don't know. 100x? I don't know. But it's definitely going to keep going up. And if you don't know what blockchain is, please stop and understand what blockchain is, so you know that companies of the future will be owned by nobody. So you know that housing of the future will be self-sustaining. So you know that you will live in a metaverse. You will everything will be decentralized and owned by nobody or everybody or the participants of the market. So if you can understand that concept and learn that concept, you're going to be so much farther ahead. And then it makes you think about how money works. And once you think about how money works, you become rich. You become rich. You go on that journey and become rich. So I'm super excited for everybody. Yes, crypto video. Thanks for finally getting me to get in on it. I'm up 25. Hey, who is that? Who is this?
It's a Facebook,
it's a Facebook, so I can't see your name there. But yeah, 25%. Right. What? Kendall? Thank you, Kendall. I mean, everybody wants to talk about when it dropped 50%, but this is how crypto goes. It goes up, down, up, down, up, but all the way up. 200% per year on average for Bitcoin. Other coins are even. I mean, my Ethereum. Ethereum is the first thing I bought. I bought Ethereum at $73, and it's at $4,000 today. And that's only in 3 years. In 3 years. I mean, you do that percent. Ethereum's up 900% this year. 900% in the last 365 days. 900. In traditional investments, you hope for what? 10%? 12%? You had a great year? I'm up 900% on my Ethereum. And I have a lot of money in there. Well, I do now. I didn't then, but I do now.
We bought Bitcoin at 19,000, and then we bought Ethereum around 1,200.
1,200, yeah. Esteban's doing great. Doing great. You just got to, we call it dollar cost averaging, right? If you dollar cost average, you're not worried about the dips, the ups and downs. You can, you just put in $10 a week, $20 a week, 100, whatever you can afford. Just put in that much every week, and then the dips don't matter because you're buying on the high, but you're also buying on the low. But in the long run, you're riding the wave all the way to the top. And I
always say also put just a couple of bucks in there. When you have a couple of bucks in there, you have stake in the game, and it motivates you to learn more about it.
Yeah. Yeah. You go to Robinhood, set up a Robinhood account because it's super easy to use, right? Put $10 in there. And then when you realize like 6 weeks later it's worth $20, you're like, I should have put 100, right?
Yeah.
Or I should have put 1,000, right? So then all of a sudden you start upping how much you put in there. You see it grow again. You're like, man, I should have. Now then you put everything in it.
Yeah.
I'm selling all my real estate. I'm selling all my restaurants. I'm selling anything that I own of value. I sold all my comic books, and I love comic books. Sold them all, and I put it all in the crypto. Mostly Ethereum. I buy mostly Ethereum. So, okay. There. Yes, Robinhood's a great app. I mean, to get started in, I wouldn't recommend Robinhood for long term. But the two apps that I use is Coinbase and Voyager. Now, Voyager is a little cheaper than Coinbase, but Coinbase is an American company. They went public, so I feel safe. Yeah, I feel safe, and they're both super, super easy to use. They're not difficult. You're not, I'm not a trader. I'm a hodler. You know what HODL stands for?
Yeah, it means hold.
Do you know what HODL, HODL stands for?
Yeah, it was a misspell.
No, it's hold on for dear life.
No way.
Yeah, hold on for dear life. I'm a hodler. I don't
didn't
sell
know
my
that.
crypto because I think it's the future of everything. Yeah, hodl.
When I looked it up, they said it was a misspell.
Like
they
hold
kept
and
it.
they,
Yeah.
no.
Huh.
Well, I mean, maybe both. I don't know. I was told hold on for dear life. I don't know.
I like that better.
That's right. So yeah, so awesome. Up 25%. Yeah. I mean, it's as long comic books and you didn't call me Paul. Yeah, I had some great comic books that I sold. I had The Walking Dead #1. I had a lot of old Spider-Mans. I had a lot of, I still have some. I still have a few thousand books, but I'm probably going to sell them all. So for a while, I was investing in crypto and I was investing in collectibles at the same time. And both markets have kind of taken off, but I want to sell all my collectibles and put it into crypto. But now within crypto, I'm buying NFTs,
Which is a collectible.
So it's a digital NFT. It's a digital representation of a collectible, right? So you can't touch it or feel it, but you certainly can look at it. And if they just announced yesterday that Topps, or maybe 2 days ago, Topps is going to issue their baseball cards now in NFTs, right? So let's say you get a Stars rookie card, and they're going to be numbered. They're going to issue maybe 10,000 of that rookie card, right? But who gets the number 1?
Yeah.
Is going to be worth the most. And there's no condition. You don't have to send it to CGC to get graded, right? There's no condition because you own the representation, the NFT of it. Yeah. NFT is a non-fungible token. So what is a non-fungible token?
May I explain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Non-fungible token means it's fungible means that it cannot be replicated. So if it's been created and there's a blockchain is a ledger, and the ledger proves that you're the sole owner of this particular item.
Right. So think of it as this: if Esteban had a $20 bill, I had a $20 bill, and Stan had a $20 bill, and we mixed them all together, right? Mm-hmm. We don't care which one we pull out of there, right? Because they're fungible. That means they're fungible. Every one of them is worth $20. So we can take different ones out of there. We still have the same thing. But non-fungible means that you own one specific item, right? One specific item. And if you put it in a pot, you still know which one you own. So non-fungible tokens mean you own something scarce that have value. Now, I bought some non-fungible tokens yesterday. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you showed it to me, yeah.
Oh my God.
Weird looking non-fungible.
I can't believe I bought it because I have a very smart guy that told me to buy it, and I spent a lot of money on it. I mean, a lot of money. I don't know if I should say how much, but I'm going to say how much. I spent $21,000 on an NFT yesterday, and he claims in 8 weeks it'll double in value, but I'll keep you updated if that really works. But it's brought me into the NFT space, and now I'm thinking about, projects that are coming out. What is Axie Infinity? His wife is involved with Axie Infinity in the game, earning money playing games. So I'm trying to get more involved in that space. I love that space. I'm sorry I'm going on a crypto rant here, but somebody opened the can of worms, and I really won't stop. But we did get a couple more. Advice on starting a small bin store. Do you advise big stores for bins? Mike, I would depend on the kind of cash flow you have, how well you have your money. I got people on here saying small is better. I like bigger, but I get it. If you want something simple, open up a 1,500 square foot bin store, and everybody seems to be successful. They're easier to find. You can probably get it for less rent. I mean, think about it. If your rent's only $1,000 a month versus, like I pay $30,000 on this store, it's ridiculous, It's going to be easy to succeed. And one guy says he has 6 stores and they're all 1,000 square feet. So maybe that's the right answer. Try the public app if you're just trading. I don't know which one that is. Tom is coming to see you tomorrow.
It has to do with crypto, yeah.
Yeah, but what's the public app?
The Robinhood.
Oh, the Robinhood public app? Yeah. All right. Check out the show from 2 days ago. He went over some cool options that got me excited about opening a bin store. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the kind words. All right, guys. That probably wraps it up. An hour and 35 minutes today. Liquidation Motivation is my channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you Monday, right? We'll be back Monday live. We're going to do these every day, 5 days a week. Now go out there and make some money. And today we bought a $50,000 Target electronics load. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Look at this. GoPro 8. Galaxy S20. Beats Studio 3. Apple AirPods. Look at this. Uh-oh. Samsung Galaxy Buds. Apple Watch. Look at that one. Rose gold. Everybody wants rose gold. 6 terabyte. I think it's a Tab A. A Tab A. Power Beats Pro. 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 I don't even know.